Hello and welcome back to Legacy of Leaders, where we interview the brightest and most interesting leaders in the community, and today is no different. I'm your host, Whitney Mincey, joined by a very special guest, Mr. Kevin Waugaman from Momentors. Welcome.
Thanks for having me.
Yes,
great to be
absolutely. Here. I'm so excited to talk about Momentors because it's a concept that's close to my heart with personal development and learning more about leadership and learning more about yourself. So for those that are not familiar with your organization, tell us a little bit about it.
Sure. Well, it's a coaching and consulting business, and over my years, I've had the benefit of working with and alongside of many tremendous leaders and coaches. And I'll tell you, I also had the ability to overcome a lot of challenging situations in life.
Yeah.
So kind of putting it all together, about a year and a half ago, I realized that this is really where my heart is in doing this type of work and coming alongside of people and companies in some instances and just helping them, get from point A to point B. There's generally gaps between point A and point B. And with my experience from, salesperson to mortgage origination to CEO of a local real estate company, and then some of the life stuff along the way that I've kind of gotten through, I figured I'm in a good position to be able to kind of help people navigate some of those challenges.
Yeah.
Plus, I'm a lifelong learner, so I read everything and listen to the podcasts, and so try to take all that information, figure out what's at the heart of the matter for the people I'm trying to serve, and what the pathway forward is.
Yeah.
And so I love doing it. It's my life's work.
I love that. So you mentioned the people you're trying to serve. Let's dig into that a little more.
Sure.
Who is an ideal client for you? Who are the people that you can help transform?
Yeah, it's really, and this is where my experience lies, is salespeople and leaders.
Okay.
And so naturally then I sometimes get asked to come into companies, and where my expertise is top line growth, culture building, recruiting, and driving effectiveness in behaviors. And so that's kind of the ideal situation. But I mean, I work with a marketing company, I work with a motivational speaker, I've got an aerospace company. So there's really anybody that's looking for that type of growth. Now, I'm not generally the person they call in to do the cost-cutting side. It's not my area of expertise, and it's not fun for me. So it's those general areas that I perform.
So you've worked with a wide range of different types of either salespeople or leaders. What's the biggest thing you've learned over the course of your career and working with so many different types of people?
Yeah, great question. Leadership in general, I think you hear a lot about vision casting and communication, and those are really important. I think there are also some things that are maybe a little bit more of a tactical way to think about it that will serve at any level of leadership, because there's differences at mid-level, lower level leadership compared to the executive suite. And so some of the things that I think kind of apply to all of them that I've kind of noted along the way, one will be self-leadership is critical. There's really no driving behavior in an organization contrary to how the leader is behaving. So, and by the way, I've been all over the board on this one. My first leadership job came in 2009. I used to party with the team. I used to close down the bars with the team. And over a period of time, I realized that's not the proper way to do it. And I became the first person to leave the party when the alcohol really started flowing. That's just one example. But I'm talking even from like health and how you manage your time and your energy and what you make priorities. These are all things that are important for a leader to model, not only teach.
Yeah.
The second one, and this might be the biggest, be the calm in the storm.
Oh.
I got to tell you, this is a challenging one because you can miss on both sides, right? You can be too emotionally volatile, but it's also not be the robot in the storm and be devoid of any emotion. So you got to kind of find that balance. And a lot of the work I've done with leaders over the years, I ended up developing an acronym to help people deal with this, because I'd see some of them would get some information and then fire off the email or the text and try to solve it. Like that.
Yeah.
And so I said, okay, let's figure this out. What? And I love acronyms. So I came up with CALM, C-A-L-M. C is collect information. All right. Sometimes you need to talk to more than one party to figure out what really happened. Sometimes there's 3 or 4 people to talk to. Collect all the information before you start making snap judgments. 2, assess that information. Put the pieces of the puzzle, or A, put the pieces of the puzzle together, figure out what really happened. L, lay out the path forward. And that could be as simple as just taken note, number one, I need to communicate with this person. Number three, or two, I need to ask a follow-up question to this person. Just lay out what that looks like.
Absolutely.
And then M is move on it. Now that I've got the plan, now that I've done my assessment, I've got the plan, I got to take action.
Yes.
Because I see this too sometimes where it's, okay, I figured it all out, but now it's not convenient for me to have a conversation with somebody, and then it just kind of lies, and it doesn't generally go away when it lies, as you know.
It just festers.
It festers, and then it blows up, and it becomes a huge problem. So be the calm in the storm is another one.
I love that.
To time and energy management, number three would be delegate the repetitive tasks. And this is another one that is really super tough because there are all kinds of different ways you can miss here. One is you delegate, but you don't educate, right? And the person doesn't know how to do the task. Or you delegate and then you keep taking things back because they're not getting up to speed as quickly as you want. So John Maxwell, author and leader, John Maxwell, leadership guru, has a great system for this. Is very simple, is I do it and become really good at it. I do it and you watch me, the person who I'm going to delegate it to. You watch me do it. You do it and I watch you do it is the next step. And then you do it and report back to me. And that's a great model for delegation. And there are things that I see leaders do, and present company included. These are all things that I work through as well. That just don't get to that point where they can really focus on what their critical few objectives are, the things that they really need to be spending time on because they're doing too many repetitive, mundane tasks. And I can keep going if you want me to, or we can go in a different direction, but I know we have limited time here, but those are just a few of the things. And then there's some myths too, some leadership myths that I would help people through. One is it's lonely at the top. Well, it doesn't have to be lonely at the top.
Right, that's very true.
It doesn't have to be lonely at the top. If you're meeting your people where they are, if you're helping them develop and grow and meet their objectives, then you're spending a lot of time with your people. It doesn't need to be lonely at the top. However, you have to make tough decisions sometimes, so it can be lonely at the top. It just doesn't always need to be lonely at the top.
Yeah,
so.
Well, great information. I love your acronym, CALM. I think everyone should remember that, write it down, use it, and then reach out to Kevin to learn more, because clearly he is filled with gems that can help you grow. So unfortunately we're out of time, but thank you so much.
I keep going if you want to.
I know, you've got
We'll do another
plenty
one
to
one
share.
day.
Well, more of a reason for them to reach out to you
Right.
and learn more about all of the amazing things that you can help them with. So if you want to learn more about Kevin Momentors, make sure you head over to dailynewsnetwork.com. All of his information will be listed there, and we will see you next time on Legacy of Leaders.